So first of all, I would like to thank the invitation. I think the topic of the conference it's nowadays highly important, and it has many reasons that we already heard. First of all, I would like to a short introduction of me. I'm an architect, as you can hear, and I have been interested in the protection of industrial heritage since my university studies. I've been researching industrial heritage for more than 12 years. Firstly, I had focused on industrial areas of Budapest in Hungary, and later on the architect doctorate school, we worked on the north area of Hungary. We had a research team called Borsod 2050. And why this topic is so important, or why I am interested in, um, I think in our region and in Europe face a common challenge: a lot of empty, unused, and often destroyed buildings and lands, invaluable cultural heritage and resources on one hand, and lack of public finances to bring them to life on the other. Uh, I think our industry, this old building, is part of our heritage. It's very diverse, both in terms of age, function, and size, but it's part of our culture heritage. Uh, and it's really important. It's culture heritage and culture heritage, and not just say architecture heritage or building heritage, because it's more. It's about much more than buildings. It's about landscapes, tradition, identities, custom, traditions, many times songs. So the identity of the people. Uh, but it's not the easiest heritage, at least I think. Uh, Mainly of the former Soviet Union area, the people have different emotion and memories about it. We are responsible to protect and interpret our heritage, uh, and it can be success if we found a sustainable way. Uh, but we have to know it that it's many times connected to really hard society problems and really hard feelings. Um, and I think we are talking about a relative new science. We have been facing this issue since the economic res- restarting of the 1970s. And we don't have a lot of definition about it. Here you can see the Nijni-Tagil-Carter definition, but I think we are still searching many times the real definition. I'm sure that today's the presentation and the listeners uh, uh, who follow this seminar, let's say we are the fan of the industrial heritage. So you can understand why it can be impressive, these big halls or these old photos or um, all monuments or larger scale. But I held many local forum, for example, and I can say that it's not obvious for everybody. Let's say here you can see a nice picture. I got it from György Csontos. It was the biggest hall in Central Europe in Ózd, in the working part when it was working. Um, to sum up the difficulties that we have to count, I write it to here. So it's really many times really hard to understand. It has negative emotions and it has very undeveloped background many times, and really mm, without cooperation, let's say. sorry that I now short about the legal situation in Hungary. Unfortunately, the law system now in Hungary regarding to heritage protection is not really ideal, and industrial areas and buildings they do not have other laws or protection lines, let's say. So if they are protected, we have to treat it based on, let's say, classical Munipers principle, which I think it's a wrong approach, because they had a really different architecture way. And in addition, there is a lack of a big in addition, we have a other big problem that we do not have a good database about about our industrial heritage. So we do not exactly how many and how big areas and buildings that we have to deal on. As far as I know, there are some local database, but they are not integrated. Here, it's you can see let's say a sad story on the pictures. I think it's now already more than 10 years ago when they demolished chimneys of Ost. On the photo, you can see the destroy of the 9 chimneys in Ost, and they were the symbol of the city. And now they this year they will open a light chimney to remember of this symbol of Oz. I think it's a really important story because it's a good sign that how important these buildings many times of the people of the identity, and it's not just about economy decision that it's, for example, hard to protect them or hard to renovate them, but if we destroy some this kind of important symbol, it's really a bad message, I think. Continue my presentation now, because I'm an architect. I would like to focus on the architect point of view to rehabilitate this kind of old buildings. So what kind of design possibilities we had and what kind of challenges we have to solve when we are so lucky that we can redesign an industrial heritage or fill with a new function. Nowadays in the planning term, there is a new phrase. It's called adaptive reuse. I think it's really important for industrial heritage protection as well. So adaptive reuse is the process of reusing an existing building for a purpose other than which it was originally built or designed for. Perhaps the biggest challenge in the rehabilitation of industrial areas and buildings is figuring out the ideal new function, managing the enormous size of the buildings or the energy needs, and the enormous cost of resulting from this size. And many times we have to care about the pollution of the area. So I think it's a really good solution if the project that doesn't want to solve everything at once. Here I show you some nice example for small intervention. This small intervention help to start to value the area and bring it back into the public awareness. These are often an art attraction and festivals such as Light and Electronic Music Festival that was held 2 years ago in Inota Power Plant. And I would like to show you the Krypton factory in Ica, which I think it's a really good example of this scheduled planning. In the first place, only they planned the basic preservation, let's say, and the placement of necessary service rooms, toilets, and so on, and built this small wood stairs like a furniture. It was working like a stage. This space provided an opportunity to assess the interest of the locals, seasonality, and their needs. These surveys provide the basis for the future development program. For example, the owner realized that to use this entire building in the whole year, it's not necessary and not should be a goal. So now they want just a box inside in the house that they can use in the winter because they don't need the whole house. And of course, it should be a big cost to the energy development. Yeah, I didn't put pictures, but also in Budapest there was a really nice project. It was called Hengermalom Kelesztés project. If you are interested, I can send you a link. It was also a really good example how a short festival and other program can help to collect the ideas for a new development. Sorry. The next project that I would like to introduce to you, it's a larger development where the tourism is the calling word. It's exhibition center and the education trial. This is present paleontology, geological, and mining heritage together. Here you can see the old mine. It was 7 level high, which now it's full with water. They shut the mine so quickly that the lake now it's still full of with big machines and so on. So the deep sea divers is really like to use this lake to train themselves. And here you can see some picture about the trial that we planned many viewing points. It's always point of an important story or a geological part. And here there are small, I don't know if you see my cursor, small, not really small, but tables that you can read the story. It's made of concrete. There's two reasons. It's inspired by the color of the mine, and the other reason it's a quite poor region of Hungary, and they didn't let us to use steel and this kind of things because they were afraid that somebody stole them. So all of this viewing point is designed, all of the details from concrete. And two more examples. It's also from Hungary, Pécs Zsolnai Culture Quartier. I think when you're changing the function, when transforming, it's very important to preserve the area. The characteristic of industrial areas is really heterogeneity and complexity. Since the purpose of industrial buildings has always been to serve function and technology, the construction principle, therefore, I think the principle of the monument protection should always be different from, for example, the protection of a church of a castle. So here you can see one of my favorite example of heterogeneity, where the planners developed the main urban concept for the area. Uh, it was the aim to create community space and clear out not valuable additions. But then, after, the individual renovation of the buildings were not kept in one hand, um, but rather designers were chosen for the renovation of the building. Some were renovated of classical monuments renovations. For example, here you can see the old Zsolnai. Some were expanding a large new complex city, new uh, and a new contemporary exhibition space was created. These complex together preserve the heterogeneity of the former area that I think it's really important. They don't lose uh, the identity of the area. And my last example, it's a culture factory in Ózd, also in Hungary, in north area. One of the main reasons that I bring this project, because I think it's treat really like the new and the old um, complexity together. New and the old, and the preservation of the old atmosphere in Ózd. Here you can see the project. It contains 3 buildings. The museum, it was the old school, the digital power plant, and the National Film History Experience Park. SMU, maybe, yeah, I changed to picture. Here you can see also an old picture from Ózd, and you can see the factory. It's really in the center of the city, and it's still a big urban planning aim, let's say, to how you can integrate a big, empty, or not really working area to a city that is working a different way like in the past. And it was the reason, why the architects wants to open the mine, the area to the public and to the city, because now the area is really closed and it's hard to cross or hard to achieve. This photo is also a good example how these buildings are changing all the time. So, for example, you can see the windows are so different. So it's not like that was in the plan or that it should be, let's say, because it was always designed and always changed according to its function. I think this diversity and all changing is a huge opportunity for the architect when we have to change the function of these buildings. So if we can understand the essence of the building, we can we can transform a new function quite easily to this building, but we really have to understand the essence and the atmosphere of this building. And I think that we don't have to idealize and renovate all the part of those buildings. For example, an architect, I can say, always a big challenge to find the lighting, the new traffic system, the new service requirements, the new opening for this old building. For example, here in the digital power plant building, György Csontos, the architect, create a new entrance of the building, because a public building need important entrance that the old that industrial building doesn't have. And yeah, and they can solve the Windows problem because sorry, now they solve the Windows problem. Also, they understand the old layouts of the building. And for just for end my presentation, here you can find really effective way and simple but really effective way how you can show the differences between new and the old. One is the really white contrast with the old surfaces. I think it's really nice, and you can still feel that how it was used before. And also a good way when you can use the color, play with the colors on the new system. Overall, I think there is a huge challenge, but also opportunities to transform of the transformation of industrial buildings. Unfortunately, we can no longer measure many buildings, but we know many good examples of renovation and transformation, which we can learn them and follow them. Thanks for your attention.